In this video, we're going to look at averages with ungrouped data. So first of all, we're going to look at mean, and mean is really what we mean whenever people work out averages. So whenever people say, what's the average of, really what they're doing is finding the mean. And the mean is whenever you add up all the data values and divide by the number of them. So a nice way to write those, or a fancy way maybe more than nice, is sigma x over n. So you're adding up all the values and dividing by the number of them. So x would be the data values, n is the number of them. The median is a middle value once the data has been ordered from smallest to largest, or of course from largest to smallest, it doesn't really matter. And again, if there are n terms, the middle term is the n plus 1 over 2 term. So that doesn't tell us the actual median, it tells us the location of the median. The mode is the data value that occurs most frequently, and the range is the difference between the largest and the smallest. Now, a common mistake people would write as the range to be 5 to 11. That's not right. The range would be 6. So you actually have to do the subtraction of 5 from 11. So example, 2 dice were thrown 10 times and their scores were added together and recorded. Find the mean, the median, the mode and the range. So the mean is sigma x over n, so it's the sum of all the values divided by the number of them. That's going to be 7 plus 5 plus 2 plus 7 plus 6 plus 12 plus 10 plus 4 plus 8 plus 9 divided by 10, which is 70 divided by 10, or 7. To work out the median, we need to order the data. So whenever we write it in order, it's going to be 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 12. The median position is n plus 1 over 2. So that's 10 plus 1 over 2. So that's the 5.5 term. So we're going to look between the 5th and the 6th term. So if we look at the 5th term, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the median is in the middle of 7 and 7. And what we do for those, we would do 7 plus 7. So whatever those two values are, we add them together and divide by 2. We find their mean. And the median is going to be 7. The mode is the most commonly occurring number. We can see the mode is 7 because it occurs twice. And the range is the largest minus the smallest. So that's 12, take away 2, which is 10. So the range isn't 2 to 12, the range is 10. In some situations, it may be more appropriate to choose one average over the other. So we use the mean whenever we need to use all the data values. And the advantages of that would be that it includes every value in the calculation, but it is affected by extreme values. The mode, we want to use that when it's the most popular choice, or when the values are categories and not numbers. So if everybody was listing their favourite colour, what way do you arrange those from smallest to largest? If you were trying to work out the average, how do you add up red to green? So if the values are non-numerical, we would consider the mode. And it isn't affected by extreme values, and it's the only average that can be used with words, but it's no use if all the data is different. So if all the data occurs once, then every value is the mode, so it's not very useful or helpful. And we use the median when we want to find half the values to be above or below. And when we have one or two small or very large values that would distort the mean, then the median is perhaps better. So the median isn't affected by extreme values, but it doesn't include all the data. So example 10, a class voted on where they would go for a day out, and the results are shown below. Which average would we use? Well, all the data is non-numerical. Now, we do have frequency, so we've got 3 people wanted to go to the museum and 5 wanted to go to the cinema. But we couldn't arrange those activities in an order, so we can't find the median. And we can't add the museum plus a cinema, so we can't do that. So this one, it has to be the mode, because the data is non-numerical. And example 11, which is the most appropriate to use? Well, if we look, none of the values occur more than once, so it can't be the mode. You might think the mean is a good one, but these 4 values are very close together. And then we've got this really large pay, or large salary. So for this one, the median would be more appropriate, because there is an extreme value